know if you like that intro. I thought it was pretty creative. So it's time for another book review. This is after I've already announced that we're about to be about this business talk, and I'm about to talk about basically one of the pinnacle books when it comes to marketing and sales in general. All right, so this is about to be extremely important, and it's actually broken up. I'm gonna make a video for every single chapter because that's how important this one particular book is. So important to the fact that on every single sales page that I make, the things that I create are called sales funnels, and they can be placed on an actual web page. And I go as far as to make sure that I have every single one of these things placed inside of the funnel. If I can get all 6 of them on a page, then I know I'm really hitting the mark and I'm most likely going to make a lot of sales on that page, all right? So that's how important this can actually be and will be for all of life, because this is the type of thing where it's all based on psychology. Majority of marketing is based on psychology. So if you are going into any sort of marketing, sales, any sort of business position where you're responsible for bringing in revenue, a good thing to learn about is psychology. And one of the best psychology books is called sound effects. One of the best books is called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Pretty freaking famous book. Yeah, bestseller. And honestly, as far as all psychology of making people say yes to things and making people buy stuff, this is top all the way up there. And what you'll start to notice as you go further and further into marketing and sales is a lot of it is going to be borderline manipulative, and it is. But what I would have to say to that is, yes, it's manipulation, but that's only a bad thing if you're manipulating somebody to do something that's not actually good for them. If I didn't know how to do this kind of stuff, then I never would have been able to convince my clients to let me help them with this business, and we never would have made a significant amount of money this month. If I didn't know how to do this stuff and I didn't put it in the sales page that I created for him, then we wouldn't have convinced over 500 people to take action and join a program that could potentially move them further in life and make them happier and help them reach their fitness goals. So let me say this, with great power comes great responsibility. That's exactly the type of situation we're in, and anything that I teach can be used for evil. So make sure that whatever you're using this for, you're doing it for the good reasons, the right reasons, and we'll be straight. And obviously there's going to be people out there that try to use this type of stuff for bad. But fuck them, they'll get theirs eventually. So what this book is basically going over is what's known as cognitive biases, which is basically there's things that happen that because of years of evolution, we tend to have a natural response to whatever that action is. So I'm going to go through every single one of them and explain what it is and how it can be used for marketing purposes. All right? So the first one is the cognitive bias of reciprocation. And to put that as simple as possible is oh man, collie's been messed up this whole time. So if I give you something, then naturally you will feel inclined to give me something back in return. Hopefully, just from me saying that, you're already able to start putting 2 and 2 together. The main way this comes in handy is stuff like what I'm doing now, as well as what's also known as a lead magnet. The content that I'm putting out now is entirely free, and it's entirely meant to benefit you who's watching. Because I'm giving this to you, you're naturally, whether you believe it or not, actually knowing stuff like this is going to make you start to fight against that natural impulse. But it's not a bad thing to feel this way, because when I make this content for you, your natural inclination is going to be to want to give something back to me. Especially as I make more and more and more and you consume more and more content, you're naturally going to feel a response of reciprocation where it's like you feel the need to give back to me. I understand I'm being a bit redundant, but I'm trying to make the point as clear as possible by explaining it in various different ways. When I said a lead magnet, what a lead magnet is you're creating a piece of content or anything that's beneficial to whoever your audience is for entirely free, whether that be like a cheat sheet, a checklist, a free ebook. You're giving it to somebody for free, just saying like, hey, give us your email. We'll send this thing over to you entirely for free. You don't have to pay anything. It's entirely free. That would be a lead magnet. That would be free. And the entire point of doing that is to evoke that reciprocal response. So after you've gotten something for free, if right after you get that, you're immediately shown an offer to purchase something, you're more inclined to say yes to that because you've already said yes to something else. Not only have you already said yes to something else, and it's easier to get a yes after you've gotten one yes, but because you've gotten something for free, you're naturally like, oh man, I mean, it's only natural that I give something now because that's the way humans work. I get something, then you get something. That's the cognitive bias in our head at work. So the general lesson here, I'll try to keep these a little short because I can get pretty lengthy with these, pause. And there's no reason to like break this down as much as he does in the book. Because it's straightforward. If you want to get something from your market, the people that you sell to, which presumably is money or their contact information, then the best way to do that is to give something for free first, whether that be content on a platform like YouTube or Instagram. And even better would be a lead magnet offer where you literally create something for the sole purpose of giving them something for free. One more example of doing something like this is to include free bonuses with any sort of offer that you make. Not only like we'll talk about this more in a later video, I'm sure of it, but not only does the idea of something being free make somebody more inclined to buy something because everybody likes free shit, but the very fact that you're like, hey, I have this whole program, it costs this much, and I want to give you this extra thing entirely for free. That's how you evoke the law of reciprocation. It doesn't get more complicated than that. I hope I'm explaining this stuff well. I'm trying to get better at articulating the ideas that I've learned along with the own ideas that I have in my head, and I'm hoping that I'm like coming across in a way that you're able to understand exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm not just talking and this is actually of value to you, and you're able to actually use the ideas that I'm talking about in your business or your job or any sort of like relationships that you may have, where you need to evoke something like this. Until next time, we're going to talk about the rest of the ideas in this book, and your marketing is going to be peace.